Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to do a hexadome like so. This will consist of 2 hexagons, 2 pentagons, and half a hexagon. And we're going to be working with a 9 or what I think is a 9-inch diameter hexadome. And I say I think because I actually had a hard time how to figure out the formula to make a hexadome at any given diameter. But I'd figure I'll show you guys a formula towards the end of the video, and for now I'm just gonna get you guys going on how to make this by just making a whole bunch of circles at a set predetermined length on your compass throughout the whole video. So yeah, this will be pretty interesting and fun. Alright, let's get to it. I've already have a set length that I need to put my compass at to get a 9-inch diameter. So that formula gave me the answer of having my compass set at 1 7/8. Now you can set your compass at any given length that you want on your compass. If you just want to follow along and have fun and see what kind of results you get. But yeah, it's going to be simple to make this. Okay, so I'm going to do a random 2-inch line just to kind of get going. And I already have my compass set at 1 7/8. So what we're going to do is strike an arc here, and then put my sharp point and strike the opposite end. So that's 1 7/8. Now I'm just going to simply make circles. Now just note that you're going to be making 4 rows of circles. So the first row will be 2 circles, the second row will be 3 circles, the third row will be another 3 circles, and the fourth row will have 4 circles. So now you do this. Okay, so that's the first row, 2. Now let's go ahead and make 3 circles on the second row. So line this up. Okay, let's do one right here. And make sure that they intersect to the other circles in the center or the middle of the other circles. Okay, now let's go ahead and go here. So as you can see, we're doing the third circle on the second row. Okay, now let's go ahead and start on the third row. So let's go ahead and put a circle here and just kind of match them. Okay, now let's go ahead and do another one right here. And just check the other circles that they land in the center. Okay, let's go ahead and do one right here. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the fourth row and do 4 circles. So let's go ahead and do one right here. And then check it to see if they land. Okay, let's do another one right here. I think I can adjust this a little bit more. They may not be perfect, but this will, by making these circles, this will help you make sure that the pentagon and hexagons align evenly to one another. Okay, and the last one, we'll do one right here. Can adjust it, move it back a little bit more. Okay, and keep in the same position. Now what you do is put your sharp point right here and lean it over to this side to the right and make a mark right there. I'm going to leave my compass right here so you can see that I'm not going to touch it. It's going to stay at the same position. Okay, so let's work on getting the pentagons or hexagons exposed. So follow my lead. Okay, so as you can see, there's one hexagon there. Let's do the second one. I'm afraid to drag it because I noticed that it's smearing the ink. Okay, so there's your two hexagons. Now let's get the half hexagon exposed, which is going to be right here. Make a line across and then go here and then go across again right here. Okay, so there's your half hexagon. Now let's go ahead and expose the pentagon. So we're going to put a pentagon here and one right here. Okay, so the way you do that is first let's go ahead and see this arc that's right here. We're going to put that same mark right here. So in the same position that you have your compass, put your sharp one right here, like so. And then make an arc like that. Okay, we're going to put it back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run some vertical lines from the center of that and line it up to the center of those crisscross arcs. So just follow my lead. And we're going to make a line like so. And do the same thing on this side. And run it down the middle and then make your line. Okay, next step. Now what we're going to do is you're going to put your ruler and you're going to put your ruler here, your pencil, and you're going to line up your ruler to where this arc and this vertical line meet right here. So just follow my lead and then make a mark right here. Okay, do the same thing on the opposite end. Line up your ruler here and then line it up to that vertical and horizontal or arc where they meet right there, and then make a mark right here. Okay, now you're going to take your compass, put your sharp point on those marks and make some crisscross arcs. One there, go here, and there is your 5-point pentagon. Do the same thing on this side. Alright, so there's one pentagon. Let's do the same thing here. So again, same process. Put your ruler here, line it up, and make it hit right where this arc and that vertical line meet. and you're gonna make a mark right here. Okay, same thing, do the opposite end. Pencil point there, line it up to where that arc and that vertical line crisscross each other right there, and make a mark right here. Alright, now take your compass in the same position, put your sharp point where those marks are, and strike an arc on the top. Same thing on this side. Crisscross the previous arc, and there is your 5-point pentagon. And there it is. So hopefully you guys can see that. So that is this right here. So hopefully they'll match. And yeah, that's pretty close. So there it is. Now, as far as how this goes, or how many of these you need, you're going to need a total of 5 branches. Out of the 5, the first branch is going to look like this. It's going to be two pentagons, 2 hexagons, and 1 and half a hexagon. And then the other 4 branches are going to look like this. It's going to be just 2 hexagons and 1 pentagon and half a hexagon. So let me just quickly demonstrate. So here is this. So the first branch is going to be the biggest one, which is an extra pentagon. That one itself is going to cover the very top of the hexadome. So it's going to look like this, and then it'll just wrap around. You bend it like so, and then this half hexagon bends, and then this pentagon just overlaps like so, and it'll cover that curvature, so as you can see. And then the other 4 branches are now just going to cover these sides right here. It's going to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just demonstrate. So it'll cover like this. You bend this over, bend half the hexagon or hexagon, and the pentagon you fold it over like so, and it closes that gap, and there it is. So pretty interesting. Okay, so as far as the formula goes, so this is how. And correct me if I'm wrong, if there's anybody out there that has a better way of figuring out how to figure out a diameter for a hexadome, by all means leave it in the comments. I'd be interested to know. But here's how I figured this out. So if you notice, on this hexadome, there's 2 shapes on the very rim of the hexadome. So it consists of 10 sides. And within the 10, 5 are different from one another. So if you look, here's a hexadome, not a hexadome. Here's a hexagon, half a hexagon, hexagon, half a hexagon, hexagon, half a hexagon, and so on and so forth. So if you notice, there's 5 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the full hexagon, there's also 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So what I had to do is figure out what length I'm going to distribute on each of these straights of the full diameter of 9 inches. So here's what I did. So 9 inches times 3.1416 equals 28 and a quarter. So somehow I had to get 28 and a quarter on every single side of these shapes here. So what I did was I just worried on the smallest piece first, and what I realized is that this length here on the edge of this hexagon, if you put this length right here in the center, it's actually double the length, so it's equal. So what I'd figure is, okay, if this, well, I'll just show you right now. As you can see, So here's that. And there's that, right? So this length here is equal to half of this middle portion of the hexagon. So what I can do is I can simply do this. See that? So that's half. That's half the middle portion of the hexagon. See that? So what I figured is, okay, I said, okay, well, if this is double, then that means that I'll count this as twice. So this will be 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So I don't know if that made sense, but basically this tells me that I can divide 28 and a quarter 15 times, and then that'll give me the length that I need to put or open up the length or width of the compass. So divided by 15 equals 1 7/8. So what that means is this, and the initial starting of the line would have to be 1 7/8. And that's very important, because by finding out what that length is going to determine how this pentagon is going to look like. So just take in mind that as far as what I know and what I found, this rules, and this will determine the length of the hexagon will determine what the pentagon is also going to look like. It has to match both sides of the hexagon and the pentagon to match and make the branch. Anyways, hope that made kind of sense. If not, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this was pretty fun, pretty quick to make. Other than that, that's all for this video. And if you know of a friend or coworker that would be interested and have fun by making these, or apply this to something else, go ahead and share with them. And that, I will see you guys in the next video. Plenty more to come. Peace.